Hello everybody and welcome back to a new painting process video. I recently took a pretty long break from YouTube and now I'm so happy to be back. I had a holiday at the end of October and it was hectic and intense because my husband and I had some guests here in Madeira. And yeah, it was nice, but it was one of those active holidays where you feel like you need another calm one once the main is over. But overall, it was a great experience, completely stepping away from my usual work and life routine. So yeah, switching is always good. Today we're starting a new canvas painting. I have already created a grid to help transfer a sketch I prepared in advance. It's going to be a whimsical plant with a variety of exotic fruits growing on it. I painted a similar illustration several years ago and I loved the concept so much that I decided to create a new version on canvas this time. And it was a little bit challenging emotionally, and I will talk about this a little bit later. I'm not worried about making a bold, thick sketch because I know I will fully cover it with paint afterwards. While sketching, I aimed to keep a balanced composition with different sized fruits, their levels of complexity, and with their mix of natural leaves, big and small ones, to have busier and calmer areas. This balance is what makes each composition look a bit better, I guess. This video is sponsored by my Patreon. Here are some things you can find there. Color exploration posts for your inspiration, tutorials, my textured brush set for Procreate, long process videos, digital art prints, exclusive sketches, and more. I would be happy to see you in my tiny creative community. There's no pressure, of course. Thank you so much for your attention, and now let's get back to the video. I traditionally start with the background. I find it easier to paint objects in layers based on their placement. Let me explain. First, I would work on the background, then the background leaves, and gradually move to the foreground elements. And I move one object after another. When painting, I often imagine my illustration as a layered PSD file. I don't know why, probably because I work digitally pretty often too. And this approach helps me to understand better the order of each layer. And of course, it is completely unnecessary for everyone, it's just what works for me. I prefer using mostly basic colors in my work because, I don't know, I believe it gives me a wider range of tints to mix. For tropical green leaves, I use light blue, lemon yellow, and a touch of light red. This is my base for these green elements. I try to paint every object in a single layer, creating shapes with varied brush strokes while the paint is still wet. This is very important and it helps me with blending colors. By the way, this canvas will be part of a series available for purchase in the future. It will take some time to create the full series and to set up my shop, but hopefully I will be able to do it within a couple of months or maybe sooner, I hope. If you want to be the first one to get updates about the upcoming shop and other updates, you're welcome to join my Patreon for free. Besides getting super fresh updates from me there, sometimes I post exclusive sketches there, so maybe that is something that you're interested in. You can also consider supporting me financially on Patreon. I would be super happy to have you there, and I need to say it because of some sad news that happened recently. So recently monetization on my channel was turned off due to some issues with getting my account approved on AdSense. It is a long story, but long story short, as you might know, I'm the lucky owner of a cursed Russian passport, and I will only be available to restore monetization when I receive my Portuguese residence permit, and I have no idea when it will happen. So yeah, the situation is pretty complex, and in the meantime, your support on Patreon means more than ever. And of course, there's no pressure at all. I just wanted to let you know that you have this option too. The next day I started with most of the background leaves finished, and I was super excited to finally begin painting the colorful fruits. Before that, I also needed to finish a couple more branches. I wanted this painting to be rich in texture, filled with a wide variety of color tints. This is why I'm moving pretty slowly during my process, and throughout my process I try to bring new various tints, as many tints as I can bring with every new brush stroke. Do you remember me mentioning that this is a new version of my old illustration? Well, I have to admit, it was a little bit scary to revisit an old concept because somewhere deep in my heart, I was afraid that after painting the new version, I wouldn't see any improvement in my style or technique. And yeah, somewhere deep in my heart, I had this fear, I guess. I believe the most scary competition is a competition with your past self, and partly it felt like this. Anyway, by the end of painting this piece, I felt, I don't know, a sense of relief, I guess. Even though I love the original old illustration with all my heart, I was really happy with the new one. Because I could definitely see a change and improvement in my style. It has become more distinctive, I guess. When tempera dries, it has a matte finish, but I also needed to cover this canvas with varnish. And this is how the canvas looks after I sprayed acrylic glossy varnish on it. Honestly, I love both matte and glossy finishes, and I love how the varnish makes the colors of the painting look much more saturated and vibrant. I hope so much you enjoyed watching this process video. As I mentioned before, I will be here more often starting today, I guess. And thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.